63% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency, not 10%, not 20%, 63%. If your car breaks down tomorrow, if your tooth starts throbbing at 2 a.m., if your landlord hits you with a surprise fee, what do? Most people put it on a credit card and spend the next 6 months paying interest on a problem that's already gone. There's a smarter way out of that trap. And it works even when you're starting from zero. Building an emergency fund when you have nothing left over feels like a joke, like being told to just save more when your account hits negative before the 15th every month. But here's what changes when you understand how this actually works. You stop feeling like money is something that happens to you. You start feeling like someone who's in the game. By the end of this, you'll have a real number, a real account, and a real first step. Not theory, a plan. This is Money Axis. Let's get into it. Nobody tells you that your first financial mistake is usually the most expensive one. Imagine this. It's March. You've been grinding. You've got maybe $180 in your account and $90 in cash. Then your car fails its inspection. The bill? $340. That single moment kicks off a chain reaction. The credit card. Interest. A balance that sits there for months. And every month you're paying for March's problem instead of building toward anything new. I didn't understand this until I actually mapped out what that $340 cost in total with interest. It was closer to $420 over 4 months. That's not a car repair. That's a financial leak. And the only patch for it is what we're talking about today. Point 1, your target number is smaller than you think. Most advice says save 3 to 6 months of expenses. That sounds like $8,000 or $12,000, and people give up before they start. Forget that number for now. Your real starting target is $1,000. That covers 90% of true emergencies: a car repair, a medical copay, a last-minute flight. It's not forever money. It's a buffer between you and debt. If you earn $2,500 a month, saving $1,000 at $85 a month gets you there in under 12 months. That's less than most people spend on subscriptions they forgot about. Start with $1,000. Protect it. Build from there. Point 2, separate account, non-negotiable. Here's what kills emergency funds before they start. They live in the same account as spending money. You see $400 in there and you think, I have $400. 2 weeks later, it's gone on groceries and a dinner out you barely remember. Open a high-yield savings account completely separate from your checking. Sophie, Marcus, Allie. These accounts pay 4 to 5% APY right now versus the 0.01% a typical big bank pays you. That's nothing. On $1,000, that's $40, $50 a year in free money just for putting it in the right place. Out of sight, out of reach, out of the temptation zone. Point 3, automate the minimum, not the maximum. Most people try to save big and quit. The move that actually works is embarrassingly small. Set up an automatic transfer of $25 every payday, not $200, not $100, $25. Why? Because $25 doesn't hurt. You don't feel it missing. And after 6 months, you have $150, maybe $200 with interest without a single conscious decision. Then in month 7, increase it to $35. You won't even notice the change because $25 already felt like nothing. This is how you build a habit before you build a balance. Point 4, find the first $100 in 48 hours. Here's the only speed trick in personal finance that actually matters: momentum. The first $100 in your emergency fund does more psychological work than the next $900. It proves to your brain that this is real. Sell something you own, old electronics, clothes, or a game console collecting dust. Cancel one subscription today. Do a 1-gig job this weekend. TaskRabbit, DoorDash, walking dogs. Get $100 into that separate account within 48 hours of watching this. One action. That's the proof of concept that makes everything else easier. Most people get this wrong in exactly 3 ways, and all 3 of them feel logical in the moment. Mistake 1, they treat their emergency fund like a savings account. The minute the balance hits $500, they pull $200 for a sale they couldn't pass up. That's not an emergency. That's your brain lying to you. The fund is for emergencies only. Nothing else qualifies. Mistake 2, they wait until they're ready. Ready, meaning debt-free, making more money after the holidays. Here's what happens: they wait forever. You build the fund and pay down debt at the same time, not sequentially. Mistake 3, and this one stings. They keep it in their regular bank account. The money blends in with everything else and gets quietly spent. If it's not in a dedicated, separate account, it doesn't really exist. Here is your money access action step for today. Open a high-yield savings account. At Ali, Marcus, or SoFi, takes under 10 minutes. Name the account emergency only. Set up a recurring automatic transfer of $25 on your next payday. Then this weekend, find one thing to sell or one subscription to cut. Get that first $100 in there before Sunday night. That's it. 10 minutes of setup, one weekend move. You'll wake up Monday with a real emergency fund in progress, not a plan, a fund. Here's the thing most people miss. Building an emergency fund isn't really about the money. It's about building the version of yourself who doesn't panic when something breaks. That version of you makes better decisions, takes smarter risks, doesn't stay at a job they hate because they're one bad month away from disaster. The emergency fund is the foundation. And in the next video, we're going to talk about what you build on top of it, because once you have that buffer, a whole new set of moves opens up. If this gave you one real step forward, consider sticking around. Not for the algorithm, because the next thing we cover might be the piece you've been missing. I'll see you at the next axis point.